What's up, everybody? My name is Scott Waters. Welcome to Left to Metal. It's time for a rock metal update. That's right. It's time for a long overdue rock and metal update, and I have had a busy couple of months. Been out of town quite a bit, had some guests in town, but all during that time, I was able to go to some record stores in California. I was able to go to the San Diego Metal Swap Meet. Was able to hit some stores locally here while my buddy Olaf was in town from Germany. We hit a bunch of local record stores. There's just been all kinds of stuff going on, but I've been hitting a lot of stores, getting a lot of great bargains, and just got a lot of stuff to show. So I'm going to start off with what's playing in the background. Anger as Art. This is the newest album, Ad Mortem Festinamus. Of course, this being the band with Steve Gaines, formerly of Abator. And this is a great album. This will definitely make my top list of 2016, unless there's a whole lot of stuff better than it, but this is just one vicious thrash metal album. Have it playing sort of low in the background so as not to get a copyright strike. Hope you can hear it. We'll stick it right there for now. Picked up a couple cassettes while I was in California, perusing some record stores. Picked it up at Rhino Records. And I don't usually buy cassettes, but I've been looking for this one on vinyl. Haven't been able to find it. Found this one for $2. This is Metal for Lunch, a Canadian compilation, metal compilation. Had the Metal for Breakfast album on vinyl. Never seen the Metal for Lunch one. Wanted to grab it. It's got a kind of a bizarre mix of songs. So you've got some stuff like on here like Dio and Razor and Judas Priest and Crocus, Quiet Riot. Your typical, heavy metal compilation stuff from the 80s. Razor not so much, but Razor being a Canadian thrash metal band. But then you've also got on here, you got Ted Nugent, Lee Aaron, Rush with the 2112 Overture. Very strange combination. And then the strangest of all being Kim Mitchell, Go For A Soda. Now I love that song. Might as well go for a soda. It's a great song, huge hook, power pop at best, not metal whatsoever, but still a cool compilation. Still want to find a vinyl copy, but in the meantime, I grabbed this cassette for $2. As well, for $3, I grabbed Angel, Can You Feel It? This is just a compilation, and an odd one at that. I'd never seen this one before. Wasn't on Discogs, so I added it to Discogs. It's got 10 songs, Polygram special products. No songs from the first two albums, all songs from the later albums. Ends with the 20th Century Fox's movie theme. Very strange compilation. Of course, the artwork being from their band's second album, hell of a band. I don't know, budget line cassette, I guess. Just one I'd never seen, so I grabbed it because I'm a huge Angel fan. I don't know if it was ever available on vinyl or CD because, like I said, it wasn't on Discogs. You could find no information online about it, so there you go. Angel, Can You Feel It? From 1989, I believe this is. 1989 Polygram. This is a Record Store Day release. I still have yet to pick up the new Cheap Trick on vinyl, but I did want to get the 10-inch. Found new parts, and I did grab this while I was out in California. I believe I grabbed this also at Rhino Records. I haven't heard it yet. Haven't even cracked the plastic on it. Still brand new, still sealed. Looking forward to checking it out when I have some time to sit back and kick back and listen to records. I don't think this is hard to find, but I still wanted to grab it, so it goes right along with the other 10-inch they released back in, I think it had to be like 82. So, Found All Parts, I believe that one was called. This one's called Found New Parts. That one came with a 7-inch single. I don't think this one does. Alright, now we're going to get into the vinyl. 12-inch vinyl, and there's a lot of it here. So I'm going to have to go through it rather quickly. I'm going to try not to talk too much. First one up I had shown in a recent VCLT video, but I wanted to show it again. This is a Scintilla project. Oh man, this is awesome. Didn't know anything about it. It features Biff Byford of Saxon fame on vocals, and a couple of guys from the progressive American progressive band Balance of Power. And man, this is just some great stuff. It's basically a concept album based on the movie, I guess, of the same name. I've never seen the movie. I don't know what it's about. I don't really care. I just like the music. 2 record sets. Biff sounds as good as he ever has. Fairly heavy album, much different than you would expect from Biff. More progressive, slightly more power metal. Black vinyl, very cool gift. And yeah, glad to have it. Had to show it again because when I received it, I didn't know anything about it at all. So now I get to hear it one time, and I really enjoyed it. Biff Byford of Saxon fame with can't remember the two guys from Lionel Hicks, I believe, is one of them. Let's see here. Produced by Biff Byford, Andy Sneap. Of course, Andy Sneap produced a ton of stuff. And Lionel Hicks. And Lionel Hicks is, like I said, he's from Balance of Power. And I believe there's one other guy from Balance of Power also in that band. Some hard rock from Dust. See this one shown around the VC a little bit, and wanted to grab it. Found this brand new sealed reissue. This is a 2-on-1, so you got both albums on this record. It's a gatefold. It's a gatefold. It's got both front back covers of both albums on the inside, and there's your front cover of your second album. Kind of like the first album a little bit better. Heavy 70s rock. Kind of bluesy, a little psychedelic. Second album, a little more mellow. I don't say mellow, but just not quite as heavy as the first album. Even though the cover looks very metal, as does this one. Good stuff. I quite enjoyed it. It's not earth-shattering by any stretch of the imagination. Karma Citra Records. Yeah, I was glad to have it. 2-on-1, killed two birds with one stone, and it was for a decent price. It was under 20 bucks. Still sealed. Again, another one I grabbed in California. Can't remember the name of the store we grabbed it from, but very cool. Dust. Their first album was called just Dust. Second album was called Heart Attack. Again, I love that cover art. Some psychedelic rock from Atomic Rooster. Another one I picked up in California. I scored a lot of good stuff in California. Cannot for the life of me remember the name of the record store I got this one from. Regardless, I was happy to find it. Gatefold. This is the In Hearing of Atomic Rooster. Of course, Vincent Crane's band. I believe this was their third album, probably around 1971-72 range. Just never owned it on vinyl, never seen it on vinyl. Was shocked to find it, in a store there. Fairly well priced. It does have a small cutout on the bottom, as you can see, on the Elektra label. But I don't mind it. Like I said, I've never seen one before in a store, so I saw it, I snatched it up. Some more hard rock from that same store. I picked up that in the search of Atomic, in Hearing of Atomic Rooster. This is actually a bootleg. Anderson, Bruford, Wakeman Howe. I'm a huge Yes fan. I love the Anderson, Bruford, Wakeman Howe album. And the reason they didn't call it Yes was because Chris Squire wasn't part of this project. But what does it sound like? It sounds like classic 70s Yes. Very, very good stuff. This being a live bootleg with plenty of Fish stuff. Fish. I'm just a little bit tongue-tied today. With plenty of Yes stuff on here. And the reason I thought Fish was because they actually do they do a live version of The Fish with, of course, Steve Howe on guitar. Long Distance Runaround, And You and I, Close to the Edge, I've Seen All Good People. And then, of course, they do Heart of the Sunrise, Roundabout, but of course they also do some Emerson, Wakeman, Bruford Howe stuff. They do, let's see what's on here, Birthright, Brother of Mine Continued is obviously a long song, The Order of the Universe. And the only newer Yes song doing here is Owner of a Lonely Heart. So there you go. Anderson, Bruford, Wakeman Howe, Long Distance Roundabout, bootleg from September 9th, 1989, the Shoreline Amphitheater in Mountain View, California. Double album set. Now, I think I paid around 20 bucks for that, which I didn't think was a bad deal. Yet another one for the April Wine collection. This is a on record. I kept wanting to say the record. On record from April Wine. I believe it was their third album. This is actually a repressing, like a second pressing, because it actually says on the back of here, previously released at full price on AQR 503. So I don't know what the difference is. The cover looks identical to me. I'm not sure if the original, I don't know what the difference is, because this is gatefold. Well, maybe you think maybe they cheaped out and gave you something different, but it seems like it's the exact same thing. So why it says that on the back, I don't know. Regardless, glad to have it as part of my collection. I've been building the April wine collection for the last couple of years, in part thanks to Captain Howdy. I can't remember what year this came out. 73, 74, somewhere around that area, I think. April wine. This is going to replace a copy I already had. This is only $5. Found this at the same store. This is a Japanese pressing of Hughes Thrall. Of course, Thrall being from the Pat Travers band, Pat Thrall. And then Glenn Hughes being from Deep Purple, Black Sabbath, among many others. Japanese pressing in pristine condition. Has the original insert in it. Obviously has the Obaya on the front of it. And it was for a whopping $5. So I snatched it up. Huge Deep Purple fan. Also a huge Pat Travers fan. I did have a copy of this in mint condition, US pressing, but couldn't pass up a Japanese pressing for $5. So I snatched it up. Keeping up with the hard rock kind of stuff. This I found locally at a store here for very cheap. This is Servant Rockin' Revival. Haven't heard it yet. I have another album by Servant. This is old school Christian rock from the Jesus Rock movement, I believe. I think this one was, I don't know what year this was. Should have looked at that before I started showing it. I actually think, even though this looks like a 70s record, I think this might actually be early 80s. Let's see if I can find a date on here. No, that would be too easy to have a date on here. I'll put the date below, because I don't know what the date was. I would have swore this was early 80s. Regardless. Servant Rockin' Revival, old school Christian hard rock. I haven't even heard it yet. Looking forward to checking it out. Actually purchased that on the recommendation of Olaf Becker from Germany while he was here. Olaf being a huge fan of old school Christian rock, and being also called the Metal Giant, so had to check it out. I showed this not too long ago. Slave Raider. This is I believe their debut on RCA Records, Jive. From Minneapolis to the universe, Slave Raider taking the world by storm. Was really happy to have it. Shortly after I grabbed that one, I found this one. Slave Raider, what do you know about rock and roll? Strange looking band, but a very good band. Campy, sleazy, greasy, heavy metal hard rock with huge hooks. Not sure why this band didn't do better. Maybe it was their label not giving them enough push. Maybe there wasn't quite that single that they needed. I've heard they put on a wicked show. I've never seen them personally, but my buddy Uncle Saxon highly recommends them. If you don't know Uncle Saxon, go to the Hard Metal Board, check him out. Uncle Saxon's a cool cat. So, Slave Raider, what you don't know about rock and roll. And perhaps some of you guys know more about this one. Let me know what you think. Next one up was a no-brainer. This is the new album from Ace Frehley, Origins, Volume 1. I could say a lot about this record. Don't have the time. I will say a few songs I really like on here. First of all, there's 3 Kiss songs. Parasite and Cold Gin, love them both. Think they're fantastic. Ace did a great job on them. He does a great version of Emerald by Thin Lizzy, which I think is a phenomenal choice of a Thin Lizzy cover. Thankfully, he did not do Jailbreak or Boys Are Back in Town. Those two have been overdone. Emerald's a great choice. It's got some great guitar work on it. Rock and Roll Hell being the other Kiss song, originally by Bachman Turner Overdrive, but reworked and become a Kiss song. This is the Kiss version, redone by Ace. Many have said that the song was about Ace. Who knows? Very unusual choice for a song for him, but a very good song on here. I also kind of like White Room, and also really like Fire and Water, with featuring Paul Stanley on vocals. The rest of the album is okay, take it or leave it, but those are my favorite songs from the new Ace Frehley record. People have shown this before. It is a gatefold. I'll quickly show the gatefold. There you go. Comes with a download card, which of course I just dropped on the ground. Comes in these fancy black sleeves on a blue marble vinyl. Alright, keeping up with the hard rock. This is just one that I've been missing. Found this copy in California again. This is Alice Cooper Thrash. This is a repressing from 2013 gatefold. Played this one already. It sounds fantastic. On Epic Records. This one used to be a pain in the butt to find, and it still seems to be kind of hard to find. You never see it anywhere, and I was surprised to find a copy for as cheap as I did. I think I paid $9.99 for this thing, and I snatched it up quick. Produced by Desmond Child. It's kind of a poppier side of Alice Cooper, but it's still got a lot of grit and grind. It's still heavy rock and roll. It's still Alice. It's got a few huge hits on it. Poison being probably the biggest one of them. Bed of Nails being the other. I'm Your Gun was a single as well, I believe, from this album. And speaking of Alice Cooper, this is a bootleg. This is $1 Billion Babies live at the Sports Arena, San Diego, April 9th, 1979. FM broadcast. Sound is pretty good. Not straight from the soundboard, but not bad either. Not as compressed as I thought it might be, being an FM broadcast, but it's from a tour you should never hear songs from. This is from one of my favorite albums, From the Inside, from Alice Cooper. The concept album based on his time spent in the, I don't know what you want to call it, insane asylum, when he was trying to get sober. Very cool, and a lot of that stuff's on here. And of course, you got the classics too. Don't Miss a Nice Guy, I'm 18, Go to Hell, School's Out. But then there's also From the Inside, Nurse Rosetta, Quiet Room, I Never Cry, Welcome to My Nightmare, Only Women Bleed. So yeah, I was just really psyched to get this. And I actually picked this one up in California as well. This one I picked up at the Amoeba Records in Hollywood. Brand new, still haven't opened it up yet. Looking forward to. This is a new Holy Grail, 2016. This is Times and Pride of Peril. Straightforward heavy metal, new wave of traditional heavy metal band. I can't say I've heard it yet, so I can't really tell you if I like it or not. I'm sure I will, because I've liked their past albums. I popped this from the San Diego Heavy Metal Swap Meet for $10, and it came with a free single. So very cool. I was definitely looking for the prosthetic records table at the Heavy Metal Swap Meet. They were late. They ended up being right across from the Rocks table, so I snatched this up right away. One that I was really glad to find. San Diego Heavy Metal Swap Meet for $10. Creator Endless Pain. This is the original pressing on Noise Records. I believe this is a German pressing. I'm gonna say very good plus condition for $10. Couldn't beat it. Creator vinyl just does not show up anymore, and was very glad to grab that one. One of the top tier of Teutonic thrash metal, along with, of course, Destruction and Sodom. Though I had Destruction out behind me, but I don't. I grabbed this one from Rocks Records while I was out in California. This is In Depths of Dreams Unconscious from Crimson Moonlight. Melodic, mellow death, I guess you would call it. Hard to describe for me. I just like this band. They're not one of my favorite bands, but when I'm in that mood for that mellow death music, these guys are very good at what they do. Kind of like early Amorphous. That's kind of how I would describe them. I haven't heard this to tell you if the picture this sounds good or not, but let's just say I got it for a really good deal from Rocks. Another one I was shocked to find in the open, or in the wild, or whatever you call it, in a record store for $10. Fates Warning, Perfect Symmetry. This one never shows up on vinyl. This was at the end of the vinyls. This is when CDs had just taken over the world, right around 1989, and I was happy to snag this one. This is a more melodic, progressive rock side of Fates Warning, away from the early progressive metal that they were doing with the Arc era. But I love this record. Really, there's not a Fates Warning record I don't at least like. This one I perhaps like a little bit more than some of the others. So, Fates Warning, Perfect Symmetry, 1989, I believe. One of those record store day releases is way overpriced, but I can't complain because it was a gift from Rocks. He picked this up for me. This is the Empire of Clouds picture disc, still sealed. This thing costs more than some records, full-length records cost, and I'm not sure why. Record store day has become a bit of a... It's good, and it's got its good points and its bad points. The pricing is ridiculous, but people are willing to pay it, so therefore, they're going to get away with it. This one here, obviously, $20.49 for a 12-inch single. It is cool. It does have this nice, cutout, and it is a picture disc. And it's got some exclusive material on it, I believe. Maybe not. Yeah, there is. Maiden Voyage, the story behind Empire of the Clouds. Limited edition, 4,696 of 6,000 copies. Not so limited, but regardless, glad to have it. It's a very cool gift from Bill Bafford of Rocks Records. Glad to have my collection. Another I picked up at the Heavy Metal Swap Meet. This is Savage Steel Power Speed Metal on New Renaissance Records from 1980. I cannot remember the year. I totally spaced the year on this one. Doesn't matter. It's the 80s. It's power metal. It's very good stuff. I used to have this one. Glad to get it back in the collection. Always liked the cover art as well. Very metal. Savage Steel begins with a nightmare. I might have showed a couple of these in past videos, but I'm going to show this one again real quick. Another one I picked up for 10 bucks. I actually picked up this one and a few other ones. They were priced at 10 bucks, but I got a package deal, so I probably paid less than 10 bucks. Regardless, Rage, 10 Years of Rage, the anniversary album. German heavy metal, speed metal, power metal, whatever you want to call it. I also picked this one up from the prosthetic table. Ex Mortis, Fourth Ride. I believe this is one of their older albums, like maybe not. No, this is actually probably their last album from 2015. I don't think it's 16, but regardless, Ride Forth, thrash metal with a bit of a death metal vibe, especially in the vocals. It doesn't, death metal. You kind of start thinking all growls, but it's I don't know. They have their own unique sound. Bit of a neoclassical vibe to them as well. Very different, very cool band. Ultimatum played a couple shows with these guys in the past. They're kind of intimidating to play after. We did a show with Ex Mortis and Vector, and yeah, that's an intimidating bill. So it's Ultimatum and Vector and Ex Mortis. Great show, great band. Excuse me, allergies. This one, shocked to find. Now, we were in a record store in California, and Bill ran across this, and I thought for sure he'd buy it, but he already had it, so he let me have it. I've done that several times for him, so I'm really glad he did. For $5, Rage of Angels. This thing just never shows up, and I've been looking for this on vinyl forever. I'm still looking for a CD copy for my buddy Dean Kinney, or even a cassette copy. He's looking for a CD copy. But yeah, $5, snapped it up. The record's in pristine shape. The vinyl has a little damage on the bottom, if you can see down here. Something stuck to it. Actually, I might try and get some of this stuff off, because it's actually not, the cover torn is actually something stuck to it. But regardless, very happy to have this in the collection finally after all these years. Of course, through these guys, Rage of Angels went on to form Steelheart. Record Store Day release. Very glad to have this. Of all the Record Store Day stuff, there was two that I really wanted. The Death Live album, which I did not get, and Nevermore's The Politics of Ecstasy, their second full-length studio album, and this thing is fantastic. And this is the album that really made me a fan of Nevermore. I was a huge fan of Sanctuary. Didn't really hear Nevermore until this album came out. And it was actually this song, The Seven Tongues of God, that I heard on a compilation album from Century Media, that I was like, wow, who is that? Discovered it was Nevermore, realized that it was the guys from Sanctuary, or a few of them. Snatched it up. Loved it ever since. Glad to finally have it on vinyl. This is only the second Nevermore album I actually have on vinyl. Their stuff is hard to get on vinyl. Hopefully more of their stuff will be reissued. This is actually also has the on the second vinyl. It has the In Memory EP on side C or side A of the second record, and the B side of that is all demo material from the Politics of Ecstasy demo sessions. So this is very cool. Outside of having the original CD, which I still own, to have this collection on vinyl.